the best designed city in America. Very excited for this video, guys. If you guys are excited, make sure to like and subscribe. Now let's dive straight into this video.
Few cities in the world protect their waterfront like Chicago.
Okay.
Almost 30 miles of parks and trails with nothing private to block the view.
Gotcha.
In every other major American city, the waterfront got sold off decades ago to the highest bidder. Developers carved up the coastline and blocked it behind gates and buildings. But in Chicago, someone decided the lakefront belonged to everyone, and that decision stuck for over a century. Chicago is massive, home to nearly 3 million people in the city proper and almost 10 million in the surrounding metro area.
Gotcha.
And yet, you can navigate the entire city by just counting blocks because the street grid is so organized that addresses tell you exactly where everything is.
Wow.
So how did this happen? How did one city manage to get so many things right while almost every other major American city got them wrong? What makes Chicago so radically different? To uncover what makes Chicago so special, you have to go back to the 19th century. On October 8th, 1871, a fire started on the southwest side of the city. Within 2 days, it had destroyed 3 square miles of buildings, leaving about 100,000 people homeless and the entire downtown in ruins. Most cities that face disasters like this rebuild quickly, throwing up whatever structures they can afford to get people back inside and businesses reopened. They patch things together and try to move on, but quick fixes rarely rebuild a city's spirit. Philadelphia never fully recovered from their great fires. San Francisco took decades to rebuild after 1906, proof that total destruction usually marks decline rather than rebirth. Chicago found itself in a completely different situation. The fire had wiped away the old city and left behind something architects and planners almost never get: a blank canvas. There were no existing structures to work around and no tangled mess of old decisions that couldn't be undone. The city immediately banned wooden construction downtown and required everything to be rebuilt with steel and stone. It was a statement about what kind of city Chicago was going to become: permanent, modern, and built to last. Architects from across the country rushed to Chicago because they saw an opportunity to build something completely new from the ground up. But having a blank canvas only matters if someone has a vision for what to create on it.
Fair point.
38 years after the fire, an architect named Daniel Burnham published the Plan of Chicago. This was one of the first fully developed master plan for an entire region in American history. Burnham imagined an entire city decades into the future, anticipating future challenges and creating solutions in advance. Burnham had a philosophy that summed up his whole approach: make no little plans. They have no magic to stir men's blood. He believed cities needed grand visions to rally behind, something beautiful and functional that would inspire people to build. Most city plans get published with enthusiasm and then quietly shelved because they're too expensive or too complicated. Burnham's plan broke that pattern. It gave Chicago an identity and a shared vision of what the city could become if everyone worked together over generations. The plan established core principles that would guide Chicago's development. Cities needed organized structure instead of chaotic growth. Beauty mattered as much as practical function. Public space was essential for everyone regardless of wealth. And planning decades ahead was far better than reacting to immediate needs. The remarkable thing is that Chicago built most of what Burnham...
Look at that, guys. Skyscrapers everywhere. Wow. Imagine just having a house or being on top of that roof and just looking out to that beautiful city. Wow.
Burnham envisioned, turning his vision into the framework that guided the city's growth for over a century. And it all started with the most important element of any city: the streets themselves. Chicago has one of the tightest, most organized street grids of any major city in America. The entire city spreads out from a single intersection where State Street crosses Madison Street, and from there, every block represents 100 addresses. If someone lives 48 blocks north of downtown, their address is exactly that distance. You can calculate how far away a place is just by looking at the address numbers. Compare this to older American cities where streets curve randomly, change names for no apparent reason, or dead-end unexpectedly. Boston streets follow old cow paths from colonial times. Lower Manhattan's financial district is a tangle of narrow lanes that made sense in the 1600s, but confuse everyone today.
Yeah.
Chicago, rebuilt from scratch, avoided all that chaos. Another detail about Chicago's streets is that there are alleys running through the middle of almost every residential block. Garbage collection, deliveries, and garage access all happen from the back of buildings instead of the front.
Wow, so everything was designed kind of for the future to some degree. Exactly what he just said. Garbage trucks can go at the back of the house rather than at the front. So they've created alleyways like what you can see right there for its own purpose, e.g. rubbish. And in fact, when I jump into Google Earth and I've checked out you guys' states, I've found myself inside some of those alleyways, which is so cool.
Streets are cleaner and more pleasant because all these activities happen out of sight. The grid does have a few diagonal streets cutting through at odd angles, but they're old Native American trading routes that the city incorporated because they already existed and people had been using them for generations.
Wow.
So, a perfectly organized street grid may make navigation intuitive and transit efficient, but even that couldn't contain a city growing this fast, so Chicago built upward. After the fire, Chicago became the birthplace of the modern skyscraper.
Wow.
Before Chicago's architects started experimenting, tall buildings faced a significant limitation. Walls had to hold up all the weight.
That's one thing about America that I absolutely love, and I've watched a lot of videos like this. Your guys' skyscrapers are so beautiful. They're either on the water or exactly that other image that I saw before. You've just got houses and buildings everywhere, and then you can just look out to the distance, and it's just skyscrapers. I'm pretty sure Los Angeles is like that. Flipping beautiful, man.
Building 10 stories high using traditional masonry meant ground floor walls had to be so thick that interior space became almost useless.
Wow.
The taller you built, the thicker the walls needed to be, which defeated the entire purpose.
Gotcha.
Chicago architects solved this with a simple but radical idea, using a steel frame as the building's skeleton. Walls could now serve as protective shells instead of load-bearing structures, and buildings could rise much higher while maintaining useful interior space on every floor.
Wow.
In 1885, the home insurance building was completed using this method, and it's widely considered the world's first true skyscraper. The innovation spread worldwide because it solved a universal problem every growing city faced. Nearly
1885. And exactly what he said, it spread out to not only probably the rest of America, that design spread out to the whole world. How cool is that?
every tall building constructed today uses some version of the steel frame method that Chicago pioneered.
Wow.
The city invented the modern way of building upward. The 1893 World's Fair showcased Chicago's architectural innovations to an international audience and established the city's reputation for pushing boundaries in urban design. Yet even as Chicago was building higher than ever before, some of the most important decisions involved what the city refused to build on. Daniel Burnham had one priority that mattered more than anything else in his plan: protecting the lakefront from private development. He believed Lake Michigan's shoreline was Chicago's greatest natural asset, and that it belonged to everyone, not just wealthy property owners. In most American cities, the most valuable land near water got sold off to private interests. New York built a wall of piers and warehouses along its waterfront. Miami Beach lined its oceanfront with luxury hotels and exclusive condos. Even where beaches technically remained public, like in Los Angeles, development blocked access and limited parking made it difficult for ordinary residents to reach the water. Through Burnham's vision and decades of civic legal battles,
that's actually a very good point. I can't remember his name, but he foretold what was going to happen throughout America and very important water lines, exactly what he's saying, Miami and whatnot. Private owners were able to buy those lots, build on them, and it doesn't allow everyone or the public to be able to access it. Where in Chicago, they built their city right on the, I don't know what lake, was it Lake Michigan? Anyways, one of the Great Lakes, to allow all people to be able to access. How cool is that?
Locked in its lakefront as permanent public space. Today, you can walk, bike, or sit by the water for 25
Love
of Chicago's 29 miles of shoreline
Love
without
it.
encountering a single gate or private property sign. The difference is staggering when you compare it to almost any other major American city. The Chicago River received similar treatment over decades, transforming from an industrial channel lined with warehouses into a public promenade where people could enjoy being near the water. The city adopted Urbs in Horto as its motto, meaning city in a garden.
Gotcha.
And this slogan shaped priorities and development decisions for generations.
Wow.
Still, beautiful public spaces only matter if people can reach them. And this is where Chicago's timing gave it another critical advantage. Chicago's layout was established long before cars dominated American life, and this gave the city an enormous advantage.
Wow.
The street grid, downtown density, and public transit system were all designed when people moved around by walking, streetcars, and trains.
Love it.
When automobiles became common, Chicago adapted to accommodate them, but didn't tear itself apart to prioritize them above everything else.
Love it.
After World War II, most American cities rebuilt themselves around cars. Highways plowed through established neighborhoods. Downtown areas were demolished and replaced with massive parking lots. Public transit systems were abandoned under the assumption that everyone would drive everywhere.
Gotcha.
Houston built endless suburbs with no transit options.
Wow.
Los Angeles created sprawl so extreme that hour-long commutes became completely normal. Atlanta designed a metro area where owning a car was absolutely necessary for basic activities like buying groceries or getting to work.
Gotcha.
Chicago took a different path.
Okay.
The elevated train system known as the L connects neighborhoods throughout the city
Love
in
it.
ways that make living without a car genuinely feasible.
Gotcha.
Chicago maintained relatively fewer freeways compared to other major cities, while places like Houston and LA were building massive highway networks. This decision, made decades ago, continues to define what makes Chicago different from almost every other major American city. Everywhere else, cities chased growth without guidance.
Gotcha. So, I mean, I've heard of the LA traffic. Apparently, it is crazy. Like a whole nother level. As you probably say, I don't know where this is, this image, but I'm guessing it's in LA. But it makes sense. It's as if the people who designed Chicago put a lot of thought into it, a lot of long-term thought.
Proving how unusual Chicago's approach was. Houston has virtually no zoning laws, which means factories can be built directly next to residential neighborhoods with no restrictions or planning oversight. The entire metro area sprawls outward with almost no public transit, making the city impossible to navigate without a car. Phoenix spreads across hundreds of square miles of desert, prioritizing endless expansion over concentrated development. And Los Angeles has a street grid that covers an enormous area, but the city is almost wholly car dependent. New York City has incredible density and an extensive subway system, but it grew organically over centuries without the kind of comprehensive regional planning that Chicago implemented. Chicago had something others didn't. A catastrophic disaster that forced a complete reset, paired with visionary leadership that created a bold plan people wanted to follow. Burnham's approach became a model that urban planners worldwide studied and referenced. The Plan of Chicago demonstrated that comprehensive regional planning could work if a city committed to following through on it over generations. Chicago became the best designed city in America because the Great Fire created an opportunity. Burnham's plan gave Chicago a framework that balanced beauty with function, public benefit with economic growth, and organized development with natural spaces that everyone could enjoy. Chicago rebuilt itself from ashes, and in doing so created a model of what thoughtful urban planning can accomplish when given the chance. Few cities in the world
that's very, very interesting. It took a disaster for a city to gather together and go, let's build this right. Let's do it the right way. And they foresaw this years and years ago. Just watching that video makes me want to go, I want to go to Chicago when I come to America. I want to see this for myself. So very, very interesting. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, make sure to come check me out on Twitch. We go live Monday to Thursday, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Let's go.